So today, I wanted to share with you the one secret to feel good, even with what's happening around the world. And it's not rocket science. It's something that we were so used to as children growing up. It's something that was actually, really encouraged while we were children. So much so that, we had dedicated time in school and at home, hopefully. It was play. And I'd like to start this off by saying, the Brian Sutton Smith, who is a play theorist, said, and I quote, "The opposite of play is not work, it's depression." So, play, it's something, the more and more we get older, the less and less relevant it's become, right, in each of our lives. We spend this whole time in our childhood, hopefully, devoted to being playful, being curious, playing with our toys, going outside, playing with each other, playing sports. However, somehow, the older we got, the more emphasis we put on working our asses off to the bone each and every day, with only a short break in the middle of our day to rest, to restore, to relax, and maybe hopefully to play. So it's no wonder that a lot of us, at least in my generation, grow up hating our jobs. We're expected to do these mundane jobs that do not excite us. They don't stimulate us. We get little breaks, and it's brief and less stimulating. And even as we grow up, this instinctive need to play, we don't lose that instinct as we get older. We simply forget it or we misplace it. And so I want to invite you into that possibility of remembering what was play for you growing up as I go through this Facebook Live with you and this video and talk about the discussion and the research behind it and some of the ways that we can get more playful and so that we can start to feel better even during this time of great change and what's happening in the world. It's just being free. It's being curious. It's doing as you want in that moment. And when we play, this opens up the brain literally to new ideas. And we start to have the courage to even have ideas, right? So play has been preserved throughout evolution. It fires off endorphins in the brain's pleasure center, like a dog wagging its tail. What does play do for the brain? It does a lot. It literally fires up the brain like nothing else. When we play, it stimulates the brain to make these neural pathways, to make the connections between the nerve cells. And this is what helps when we're children to develop those motor skills like walking, running, jumping, coordination, and then those fine motor skills like writing, manipulating small tools, detailed handwork. And the play increases the size of the prefrontal cortex, meaning that the brain starts to become more efficient at making plans, solving problems, regulating and identifying problems, all things that are required for us for successful social interactions. So I invite you to think about, now that you're an adult, how has your experience of play played out in your life? Were you able to play as a child? Were you given a space to experience stimulation with different objects or, different peers, with friends or family? Was there set time in your family to play? And how do you play now as an adult? How do you give yourself that time to play? So I invite you into that idea of what that feels like to you and what that is. So what can play do, right, for us? So number one, it can help you feel less stress. Playing releases these endorphins, the feel-good chemical that help us stay balanced, and even feel happy as we go about our day. So this strong endorphin rush that we get from playing a game of that you enjoy, or just being silly for no reason, it counter affects that negative hormone, which is the cortisol, the stress hormone, that leaves you feeling sluggish or depressed. So, when we do get stressed, just having a playful disposition, just being curious and just stop what you're doing and do something. Color, blow bubbles, dance, play a game with somebody, whatever it is, that playful disposition can help us cope better. The second way that being playful can help us, especially during now, is better relationships. By participating in games or fun activities with our friends and our family, it brings us closer together. By sharing a collective experience, especially one that releases feel-good endorphins, we bond more closely. We're more likely to do even more together in the future. So even just sharing a joke or laughing is just amazing. It releases oxytocin, that chemical that helps us feel connected to one another. The third way that playful is so helpful and can make you feel better is that it gives you more energy. More energy. Play literally restores our vitality. It supports our immune system, which is so important right now. It just gives us a burst of energy for the rest of the day. Spending time outdoors where a lot of play happens, this really just increases our energy levels. So instead of feeling drained and continuing to burn the midnight oil, get outside, I don't know, fly a kite. Does anyone do those things anymore? Just do something that you remember you did when you were a child that gave you joy. The fourth way that being playful can really help you feel so good in this time, even with what we're going through, is it helps you to be more creative. Play opens up new experiences, new ideas, doing stuff just for fun, just for the fun of it, no attachment, nothing on the other side of it, right? Because when we play, we don't worry about it. We're doing something, if we're doing something right, or if we look silly, we just enjoy it and we roll with it. And when we do that, that allows that, opens us up for that natural creative flow of inspiration, divine guidance, and energy to flow right through us. And then we start to get those downloads, those creative downloads for our work and in our life. And then the last and final thing that I'd like to share, how being playful can help with feeling good right now, is that you can sleep better. The more we move around, the more we literally move our body, or even if it's just a mental game, you're using your brain, the better we will sleep. Active play can tire us out. It just allows us to sleep more deeply, more soundly, without waking up less, and really having that deep quality restorative sleep that we all so desperately need right now, don't you? So those are the 5 ways that play can really help us feel better. Play is so important for, number 1, feeling less stress. Number 2, for better relationships. Number 3, for more energy. Number 4, more creative. And number 5, better sleep. Obviously, there's some other ways that being playful can help you feel better, but I just really wanted to touch upon those 5 really, really strong points that I think are so important and so vital to our mental health and our well-being. Each of us has our unique play personality. So I invite you to explore backwards, as far back as you can go. And if you can go to the most clear, joyful, playful image that you have, whether it's with a particular toy, it's on a special occasion, it's on your birthday, Christmas, or Hanukkah, or a particular city, and just start to begin to build from that emotion of how, and then start to tap into how that connects into your life right now. Are you still carrying this feeling into your life right now? Do you feel this in your work? Do you feel this sense of joy and clarity and playfulness in your relationships? Do you feel it? Are you doing it in your life right now? And if you are not, just encourage you to think, what can you do? What's the one thing that you can do to be more playful in your life? What's the one thing that you can do?